So, as expected when it comes to Sid Colson and anyone in the WNBA, when it comes to all of them, once you joined the Indiana Fever, the old WNBA fans that loved you, they adored you, they called you the face of the league. But once you joined the Indiana Fever, that is over. That's over.
Caitlin Clark is furious. After the WNBA slapped her Indiana Fever with shocking fines, Clark finally broke her silence, and her words sent shockwaves across the league.
Hey, yo, please tell me y'all saw Caitlin Clark, the GOAT. Y'all saw Caitlin Clark crash out on the bald head ref last night. Please tell me y'all saw this. And she had every right to. And listen, Caitlin Clark spazzed on the referee last night, and I'm not mad about it. I see a lot of the haters talking about, oh, she be doing too much with the man. Mind your business. You are not in a GOAT's place, so stay out of a GOAT's business, okay? It's that simple.
Fans are calling it outrageous. Players are saying it's a scandal. And what's most stunning of all, Clark isn't holding back anymore. But here's the real question. Why would the WNBA punish its biggest star and her team at a time when the league is exploding in popularity? And what does this reveal about a hidden culture of control that the WNBA doesn't want you to see?
Today, one common theme in the WNBA is how poorly officiated these games can be. The lack of competence from the people wearing the striped suits. Every time I watch a WNBA game, a thought crosses my mind when it comes to the officials, and that thought is, how much money do you have on this game? What prop bet did you place prior to suiting up tonight? What's the over/under, and are you concerned with a specific outcome? The officials in the WNBA, yes, they're incompetent, yes, they're trash, but it always seems like there's some shady, they're so bad and so incompetent, it seems like there's shady business taking place behind the scenes.
It all began during a heated matchup between the Indiana Fever and the Los Angeles Sparks. On the surface, it was just another game on the schedule, but the tension on the court told a very different story. Kelsey Mitchell, known for relentlessly attacking the basket, was hammered on drive after drive. Defenders grabbed her, shoved her, even yanked her midair. The crowd saw it. The commentators saw it. The Fever bench saw it. But the one group that refused to see it? The referees.
The officiating was awful last night. I don't know what was going on in that Los Angeles Sparks Indiana Fever game, but the officiating was flat out trash. The LA Sparks got every single call imaginable, and it was just noticeable, to the point you got Caitlin Clark running on the floor ready to crash out on a ref in the middle of the game, to the point where it's obvious. It's like the fix was in. The fix was completely in. So the WNBA needs to do something about this. Kathy Engelberg, you need to get a hold of what's going on here. The officiating Kelsey Mitchell getting knocked around like a damn pinball, shoots 4 free throws.
As the no calls piled up, frustration boiled over. An injured Caitlin Clark, forced to watch from the sidelines, leapt to her feet and screamed, "Call it! Call it!"
Now, just because Caitlin Clark's not playing doesn't mean she's not paying close attention to some of these referees when she's on the bench. And last night against the Los Angeles Sparks, she let my guy Agon Abazi, yeah, that's right, I know this guy's first name and last name. Angela Suffron, I know your first name and last name too. The fact I know these officials by name, that's a little bit concerning within itself. Let's take a look at Caitlin Clark crashing out at a WNBA referee. What's new? Oh, there's Leah. You gave them every chance to win. If you look at this in slow motion, you can see Caitlin Clark clearly smiling in confusion, smiling in, did that really just happen? Smiling in, you sly W. And she says, she points at the other team, you gave them every chance to win. Oh, goodness gracious.
Her voice cut through the arena, raw with anger. Her teammate Lexi Hull protested too, and the refs instantly slapped her with a technical foul.
Yeah, school did just start. Mitchell, meanwhile, doesn't let it deter her. And we're going to get a technical foul here against Indiana. So Mitchell gets the bucket, but Lexi Hull called for a technical foul from the bench.
Think about that. A blatant foul goes unpunished, but questioning the injustice earns you a penalty. The message was crystal clear. Silence your frustration or pay the price. By the end of the game, fans were asking the same thing Caitlin was. Who were the refs really protecting?
The officiating is flat out atrocious. Everybody else is getting calls. I think it's ridiculous. Just the fact that Aaliyah Boston shot 0 free throws tells you everything in itself. Let's take a look at Caitlin Clark losing it on these referees. Sydney Colson chimed in. There was a lot going on.
If the chaos on the court wasn't enough, the real bombshell came after the game. Fever guard Sydney Coulson, sidelined with an injury, took to Twitter and let loose. She wrote, "At a certain point in the league's existence, I'm a need for Kelsey Mitchell to get the same whistle as other stars. The way she gets assaulted is insane. I've considered roping my sister in to pursue charges. That tweet alone would have rattled the league."
Okay, this is kind of where everything started at with Sydney Colson. So this is the timeline here. Let me get this pulled up here. This is interesting. I didn't know she said all that today. Okay, this is interesting here. She started off last night by saying, at a certain point in the league's existence, I'm going to need for Kelsey Mitchell to get the same whistle as each other stars. The way she gets assaulted is insane, actually. And I've considered roping my sister in it to have office purse charges.
But then came Caitlin Clark. She saw Coulson's post and fired back with just 5 words. "Careful, you're going to get fined."
Caitlin Clark said, "Careful, you're going to get fined." Then Sydney Colson said, "I can't get no more fine."
It wasn't a joke. It was a warning, a cold confirmation of what players whisper about but rarely say out loud. Speak up, and the league will hit your wallet. Coulson's reply only added fuel to the fire. "I can't get no more fine." That cryptic line suggested she'd already been punished behind closed doors and had simply reached her breaking point. At that moment, the curtain lifted. Fans could see what the WNBA tried so hard to hide, an environment where players live under constant threat of financial intimidation. For anyone tempted to dismiss this as a one-off controversy, think again. There's a disturbing pattern here. Take Sophie Cunningham. She's been fined multiple times, not for violence, not for crossing a line on the court, but simply for speaking her mind. One fine came after she posted a TikTok joking about referees being incompetent. Another came when she discussed officiating inconsistencies on her own podcast. And the most damning? A fine for pointing out how rookie Paige Buchers was getting every whistle, while Fever guards like Mitchell and Clark were being mauled with no calls. Even Fever head coach Stephanie White has been fined for calling the officiating egregious. When coaches, players, and even stars like Clark all say the same thing, it's no longer coincidence. It's culture, and the numbers prove it. This season, Caitlin Clark has been the target of an unbelievable 17% of all flagrant fouls in the entire WNBA. One player, one rookie, absorbing nearly 1/5 of the league's most dangerous plays. If this happened in any other workplace, there'd be an investigation. In the WNBA, it's just part of the game. But here's where the WNBA may have made its biggest mistake. They underestimated Caitlin Clark's fan base. The moment Clark warned Coulson about fines, fans flooded social media offering to pay those fines themselves.
Then Lynn Dunn chimed in on this. So Lynn Dunn stated this right here. So Lynn Dunn stated, Agree, I will help pay the fine. So that's what Lynn Dunn stated yesterday about the fines. And Caitlin Clark said, love it. Everyone listen to Lynn.
The movement grew even louder when Lynn Dunn, a respected former executive, tweeted she would personally chip in to cover costs. Suddenly, it wasn't just players versus the league, it was players plus an army of fans against a system of silence. The league's attempt to control the narrative backfired spectacularly. Instead of crushing dissent, they ignited it. Instead of silencing players, they amplified them. And instead of protecting their image, they exposed their hypocrisy. This scandal is no longer about a single game, a single tweet, or even a single fine. It's about the very soul of the WNBA. The league wants to market its stars as strong, inspiring, fearless women. But when those women speak up against injustice, the league punishes them into silence. It's a contradiction so glaring that fans can't ignore it anymore. Caitlin Clark's fury has ripped the mask off. Fans now see a league at war with itself, one side clinging to control, the other demanding accountability. And here's the truth. The WNBA can't win this fight by silencing its players. The growth of the league, the ratings, the sellouts, the headlines, didn't come from the front office. It came from Caitlin Clark, from Angel Reese, from Kelsey Mitchell, from the players who risk everything on the court. By trying to muzzle them, the league is only fueling a rebellion, one that could reshape women's basketball forever. Caitlin Clark's fury isn't just a reaction to a fine. It's a warning shot, a declaration that the days of silence are over. The players are ready to fight back, and this time they've got millions of fans standing right beside them. So what do you think? Did the WNBA cross the line by fining the Indiana Fever, or are Clark and her teammates exposing something much bigger? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear from you. And if you're still watching, comment Clark fights back, so I know you made it to the end. Because this story, it's just getting started.
Angel, 9 turnovers tonight to go along with the side of Dookie because you shat all over that beautiful court and you were out there with 5 minutes left down 20 trying to stat pad. Do you still think you deserve a pay raise, you little trash can? Do you have any damn shame? Thank you, Sid.
Honestly, I had to go out there in the 4th to stat pad so I could keep my double-double streak alive. I don't care about winning games. I only care about stat padding to boost my ego and act cocky on Twitter right after the game ends. We're now 7-16, but like I said, I don't care if we win or lose. I just want to keep stat padding with knee bounds till the day I retire. I just keep taking these fat L's, but as long as I get my double-double, I'm good. I can talk my trash on Twitter now. And yes, I do think I deserve a pay raise after that performance. I mean, tell me a forward who almost had a triple-double with turnovers. Nobody doing it like me out here right now. I have the most turnovers in the league as a forward. I'm one of the rare forwards in the modern age. I love turning that ball over with my stupid passes.
Angel Reese just snapped after being voted the worst player on the Chicago Sky roster, and fans are absolutely stunned.
And Angel Reese, there she is. You're not up there with Caitlin Clark. You slid down to 5. It's a lot of people in front of you, but you did make top 5. Coming in at number 5, 6'3", Angel Reese. After shattering rookie records, after shattering rebounding records as a rookie, the biggest question surrounding Reese was how she could evolve and grow in her sophomore year.
What should have been a moment to celebrate her return from injury quickly turned into a firestorm of criticism, finger-pointing, and explosive reactions.
But we found out yesterday during the day that Angel was coming back, and I was like, wow, I can't wait for this. I mean, it's been a while. You came back and led the Chicago Sky to victory. Okay. No? Okay. It's been a while, and I'm sure you came back to a sellout crowd that could not wait to see you. Or not. Only 6,724 fans showed up to the Wintrust Arena. Yeah, it holds about 9,500 fans, so we're talking roughly 3,000 fans away from being sold out. To see the return of Angel Reese and the defeat of the Chicago Sky against the Storm.
But this story isn't just about one poll. It's about how Angel's every move has become a lightning rod for controversy, how she's being compared to Caitlin Clark at every turn, and why her fiery response has the entire WNBA talking.
You see, the Aces in the Sky pulled in 1.2 million viewers to watch Angel versus Asia. And this was last year. And you want to know why this game pulled in 1.2 million viewers? By the way, it peaked above 2 million because it overlapped with a Caitlin Clark game a year ago. And it went on too long. So let's just say, hypothetical. I don't remember what the exact time was, but let's just say it's meant to start at this is a 5 Eastern time game, and Caitlin's game is a 7 Eastern time game. They were on the same network. It was a double header, and the game went from 5 to like 7:15, and people started watching at 7. And people started watching at 7 because it peaked like at 2 million. The peak was huge.
Let's rewind for a second. Angel Reese has never been a quiet figure in women's basketball. She thrives on energy. She feeds off the spotlight. And she's already built a reputation as one of the most polarizing stars in the league. But even by her standards, this latest controversy hit like a bomb.
A shout out to Angel Reese. Angel Reese is just a workaholic. She just gets down to business. And I love that attitude of hers.
What? Excuse me? Let me make sure I'm understanding you correctly. WNBA media is so desperate to make Angel Reese a huge star. Their level of desperation is so high. They want you to accept her so badly that they're actively celebrating failure?
It all started after a brutal game for the Chicago Sky. Reese actually put up numbers, 15 points and 20 rebounds. But when the game came down to crunch time, it was her missed free throws that became the headline. Instead of celebrating her double-double, fans latched to that collapse and the criticism snowballed.
You definitely balled, but we got to get to this controversy. She choked the game away at the free throw line, and the fans are blaming Tyler Marsh. We got some controversy going on. We got all the Sky fans crashing out. They crashing out, blaming the coach because Angel Reese missed a free throw at the end of a game. Let's take a look at what's going on. We have Chicago Sky fans blaming Tyler Marsh for Angel Reese missing a free throw at the end of this game to keep the Chicago Sky within striking distance versus the Phoenix Mercury. She asked, do I miss this free throw or do I make it? The fans are saying that Tyler Marsh told her to miss this free throw. Tyler Marsh said the complete opposite. He threw her all the way under the bus.
By the end of the night, one ranking went viral. Angel Reese had been voted the worst player on the Chicago Sky roster. Think about that. A player who grabbed 20 rebounds, who hustled on both ends, suddenly labeled the weakest link. And that's when the drama exploded. Sky fans didn't take it quietly. Some rushed to her defense, blaming Coach Tyler Marsh for putting her in the wrong spots.
We had Sky fans in the comments talking about fire Tyler Marsh. He told her to miss the free throw. That's why she missed it. Hey, the Sky fans, man, y'all are bogus. Y'all are bogus. How y'all gonna blame Tyler Marsh because she missed the free throw to end the game? How y'all gonna blame him for that? Come on, man. Tyler Marsh said, no. I will not let y'all blame me for this one. Oh, hell no. He said, I'm tired of this shit.
Others pointed to the team's rotations, saying she's not being used properly in pick-and-roll plays. One stat list showed Reese nearly at the bottom for front-court pick-and-roll attempts, fueling arguments that she's being underutilized. But critics weren't buying it. They argued that Reese had the ball in her hands plenty of times and simply failed to deliver. The narrative shifted fast, from future of the Sky to face of excuses. And then came the comparisons, the ones Angel Reese can never seem to escape. While she was fumbling free throws and sparking Twitter meltdowns, Caitlin Clark was out there draining deep threes, shattering attendance records, and redefining what star power looks like in the WNBA. It was like a split-screen highlight reel, Clark turning arenas electric while Reese turned crunch time into blooper reels. The contrast couldn't have been sharper. On one side, Clark's impact was measurable, undeniable, and historic. On the other, Reese's supporters scrambled to inflate numbers, blame coaches, or even accuse referees of bias. Some fans insisted that the media had it out for Reese, that broadcasters were unfair, that the league itself was conspiring to push Caitlin Clark as the face of the WNBA. And that's when things turned from defensive to downright bizarre. Social media threads started claiming Reese's games were pulling bigger ratings than NFL broadcasts. Others swore the WNBA was hiding her true numbers. The conspiracy theories piled up faster than her rebounds. But the truth is, those claims don't hold up. Caitlin Clark's numbers are real. ESPN relocates games to bigger arenas when she plays. Resale tickets spike. Broadcasts surge in ratings. Reese's fan base spinning fake stats only made her look weaker, not stronger. At the same time, her teammates weren't spared either. Some Sky fans turned on the roster itself, accusing players of not giving Reese enough help, not setting her up, not protecting her. Others flat out blamed the franchise for being in freefall. The excuses became endless. One day it was coaching, the next it was teammates, then the refs, then the media. Everything except Angel Reese herself. But here's the irony. Angel doesn't need those excuses. She's a good player. She's tough. She's charismatic. And she brings a fight to every game. Yet the endless spin makes her look like someone who can't handle criticism, someone who has to be shielded instead of proving herself on the court. And this is where Angel Reese snapped. She wasn't going to sit back while the world labeled her the worst player on the Sky roster. She fired back at critics, making it clear she's not just going to roll over. Her fiery response wasn't polished PR talk. It was raw, emotional, and defiant. She made headlines not for stats this time, but for her refusal to stay silent. That's the climax of this saga. The poll may have stung, the criticism may have felt unfair, but Reese isn't letting herself get defined by one ranking. Instead, she's doubling down, embracing the role of the outspoken star who will fight back, no matter how brutal the headlines get. But here's the reality. Until she consistently delivers in those clutch moments, this worst player narrative is going to follow her. Fans and critics alike will keep holding her up against Caitlin Clark, and every missed free throw or turnover will be magnified under that spotlight. Still, one thing is undeniable. Angel Reese keeps the WNBA in the headlines. Whether you love her or hate her, whether you think she's overhyped or unfairly targeted, her name is sparking conversation, driving debates, and keeping fans locked in. That, in itself, is power. So what do you think? Was Angel Reese unfairly voted the worst player on the Sky roster, or does the criticism actually hold weight? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading them. And if you're still watching, type Reese Drama in the comments so I know you made it to the end.
For the moment many people have been waiting for. Caitlin Clark has dropped her signature logo for her product line. This just happened a few minutes ago, and it was a long time in the waiting. Many fans were wondering where Nike has been with any Caitlin Clark merchandise whatsoever, but developing a signature logo and a signature shoe does take time. So without further ado, here is Caitlin Clark's official Nike signature logo.
Nike sales just exploded after Caitlin Clark's new logo reveal. What was supposed to be just another merch drop turned into a cultural earthquake, one that shook the sports world, Wall Street, and even her rivals. But what's really behind this frenzy?
It's simple, yet it speaks a lot.
I love it so much.
I'm a big fan of it. Simplicity is the best. I like the design. Nike always does great with design, so I'm a huge fan of the logo.
From Asia Wilson's emotional reaction to billion-dollar projections, this story goes far beyond basketball. It started with a single image. Nike finally revealed Caitlin Clark's official CC logo, two sleek interlocking Cs that instantly became the talk of sports.
So lads, we gotta talk about this hilarious thing from Nike. We gotta talk about it. So Nike released Caitlin's logo and they released a shirt. I think the logo's growing on me. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like the LeBron type logos. I still stand by the Angel Reese logo's better, but it's 100 times better than the A'ja Wilson logo.
The reveal wasn't just online hype. Clark gifted her entire Fever team her signature merch, and Nike made sure fans got in on the action too.
It looked like Nike has officially released Caitlin Clark's signature merch. And just like we reported yesterday, the logo has dropped. And I'm here to tell you, they dropping some merch too. Now you can pre-order Caitlin Clark's signature t-shirts, man. Nike wasted no time in getting the ball rolling for the Caitlin Clark brand.
Every fan who showed up to the arena that night walked away with Caitlin's first logo shirt. In her own words, Caitlin called the logo a dream come true.
The statement says that the two interwoven C's reflect Caitlin's connection with the fans around the globe, and the smaller hidden C represents how Caitlin's game was built from the inside out. And a quote from Caitlin says, "To me, this is more than a logo, it's a dream come true." But a lot of people do like it. They are like reading heavily into the design. One person says the way it resembles a three-point line in the middle, clean lines, minimalistic, there's a touch of sophistication and a hint of elegance we see resembled in her own personal style. Not too flashy, it's not working too hard.
She said people always talk about leaving their mark on the game, and this was her way of doing that. Fans didn't just cheer, they rushed to buy.
It looks really unique, you know. I think it's very creative for Caitlin Clark to come up with something like this. And I just enjoy like all of it, you know, it's like aura.
We love it!
The shirt sold out almost instantly. Pre-orders opened, but most fans couldn't even get one in time. Nike wasn't just selling a product, they were selling a movement. But what made this moment even more dramatic was the reaction. Reports say A'ja Wilson was emotional, even in tears, after the announcement. Why? Because Nike had released her shoe earlier this season. It was supposed to be the headline moment for the WNBA. Instead, Caitlin Clark's logo drop completely stole the spotlight.
Nike finally decides to get into the Caitlin Clark business as they have officially revealed Caitlin Clark's signature CC logo, merchandise coming as soon as October 1st, and there is an Easter egg in the commercial dropped by Nike that could give us an idea when her signature shoes will be released.
The timing wasn't an accident. Nike rolled out A'ja's shoe at the start of the season, then saved Clark's logo for the peak of playoff buzz. It created a clash, 2 stars, 2 products, but one clear winner in the eyes of the market. Fans immediately noticed the contrast.
People think it's very clean and sharp, and a lot of people are critiquing it, saying it kind of looks like a Gucci ripoff or like a Coco Chanel ripoff, and that it's lifeless and boring. When really it's hard to tell what a logo is going to be like until it gets placed on the shoe or the product. Like the A'ja 1 logo here is kind of just a weird logo by itself. It seems very like asymmetric, but once you do see it on the A'ja 1 shoes, it doesn't look that bad. I saw someone comment how right in the middle right there, it's like kind of like a snake eye, very like Mamba mentality. But regardless about how anybody feels about it, the second these things drop, they are going to fly off the shelves.
A'ja Wilson is a proven champion. Caitlin Clark is the rookie rewriting the game. And Nike's strategy made the rivalry even more personal. This wasn't just a logo drop, it was a message. Caitlin Clark is the face of the future. And the numbers? They're staggering. Clark's limited edition Kobe-style sneakers, released in Fever colors, sold out in minutes. The $190 shoes instantly hit resale markets for double, some pairs climbing as high as $800.
If you are hoping to get your hands on the Caitlin Clark version of Nike's Kobe Bryant sneaker, you're out of luck. They are out of stock. The WNBA star teamed up with Nike for a player edition of the Kobe 5 Pro Tro, decked out in Indiana Fever colors. You see them on your screen. They dropped at 10 a.m. Monday, and they sold out before 11 a.m. In fact, in just minutes. The $190 kicks are already showing up on the secondary market at close to double the retail price.
Nike stock surged after the reveal, jumping 3% in a single day. part of a 17% rally that analysts say was fueled by the Clark effect. Sneaker insiders project her future shoe line, set for 2026, could generate between $100 million and $150 million in revenue. That would make it one of the most successful basketball sneaker launches in years, not just in the WNBA, but across the entire sport. Even Clark's jerseys are breaking records. In 2024, her Indiana Fever jersey became the second best-selling basketball jersey across both the NBA and WNBA, trailing only Steph Curry. Her merchandise sales jumped over 1,000%, an unheard-of number for any rookie. Nike isn't just cashing in. They're repositioning Clark as a luxury athletic brand.
Now, I've been pretty vocal about this. I believe they're turning Caitlin Clark brand into a luxury athletic brand. Hence why the logo looked eerily, this is just my theory, to the Gucci logo. But I will say this, though, it is a unisex logo. You can tell by how the logo is designed. You can tell by how the logo is made. It is definitely a unisex logo. And guys, I'm telling you right now, this is big time for Caitlin Clark and her brand, and for Nike to finally be getting the ball rolling on this thing. It's completely legendary.
Analysts compared the CC logo to Gucci or Chanel, saying it carries international weight. This isn't just a player, it's a global icon in the making. And that's where the story gets even bigger. Nike marketed Clark's CC logo as an international symbol. They want it to sit alongside the Jordan Jumpman and the LeBron crown. The WNBA itself is booming, projected to surpass $1 billion in revenue this year. Much of that growth is credited to Clark, who has become a one-woman ratings machine. Games without her average just 414,000 viewers. Games with her? Over 1 million. She doesn't just boost her team, she boosts the entire league. And now, Nike is putting her logo everywhere. Billboards in Indianapolis, murals outside arenas. Fans in China, Italy, and Germany are already lining up for pre-orders. The Caitlin Clark effect is no longer just an American story. It's a global movement. Of course, not everyone is on board. Some critics called the logo boring, a ripoff of Chanel or Gucci. Others said Nike waited too long, fumbling the bag with Clark. But those voices were drowned out by the numbers. The logo tees sold out in hours. The Kobe PEs vanished in minutes. Nike stock jumped. Investors are already calling this one of the smartest moves the company has made in years. Clark's logo didn't just silence critics, it exposed them. Nike has finally embraced the obvious. Caitlin Clark is their golden goose. Her logo drop was just the start. The full CC merch line arrives October 1st. Her first signature shoe comes in 2026, and if early numbers are any indication, they will break records. Caitlin Clark isn't just moving sneakers. She's rewriting what's possible for women's sports. Nike sales exploded, Asia Wilson reacted, and Caitlin Clark just changed the game forever. But what do you think? Is this logo the beginning of her Jordan-level empire? Drop your thoughts below. And if you're still watching, comment Clark Effect to prove you're part of the movement. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories shaking the sports world.